Well, this is it, 5 pounds. Blue lace agate, rinsed off. You can see it still has a little host rock or whatever, obviously, because it's in rough. But holy cow, look at the banding. Isn't it beautiful? Blue lace agate is becoming a little more rare to mine and find, and it's a little expensive. But, you know, as you can see, these are pretty big chunks. And this one's huge. So we're going to be putting it in our 6-pound barrel because we want to keep them as big as possible. And I'm thinking I'm going to run this with 4670. Look at that, isn't that cool? We're going to run, good lord. We're going to run this in 4670 for a week. It's a Mohs hardness 6.5, 7. And, oof. Gosh, this is really beautiful. I don't want to screw this up. I think it'll be alright in the 4670. And I think I'm going to run it with no ceramic media this first week. Yeah. Let's see how much will fit in here. This will be our experiment. 4670. We're hoping it's going to shape faster to save us some tumbling time and some beat up time. Let's get some smaller stones in here. We don't want to overpack this barrel. We want to make sure it's got a lot of room to tumble. You know, that dog only barks when I turn the camera on. I am so sorry for that. That's got a lot of host rock. I'm going to take this one out. Put in a couple smaller pieces. And there's not really any smaller pieces. So that's going to leave us with these 5 pieces that we can run again later. Holy cow. Just because you're not going to see this for a really long time. Isn't that a look at this. It just goes that way. And then it goes this way. Whew. That is really, I mean, that's like a chevron shape. Excuse me. That is really, really cool. Okay, that's for another adventure. 4670 grit. We're going to run this for a week. We're going to see what damage it does. We'll see how much mass is lost. And, yeah. We're back with our blue lace agate. I think that our experiment of running it 1 week in the 4670 extra coarse grit was amazing. It's just beautiful. The blue is popping. You can see these beautiful lacy pattern. There's still a lot of host rock. So I think what I'm going to do, like our smoky quartz, is run it 1 more week in the 4670. Oof. But this time I'm going to add ceramic media, where with the smoky quartz we did not. But I want to get rid of some of this host rock without getting rid of a ton of this mass. Well, that is very interesting. Gosh, just a great big chunk. Isn't it beautiful? And this is mostly dry. What a gorgeous color. Just gorgeous. Wow, look at that. Just beautiful. Lots of shaping still needs to happen, but most of the super sharp edges are gone. But I would like to tackle a little bit more. Oh my heavens, these are the most beautiful things. Just look at that. Now we do have some chips, which were bound to happen being in the first week. So, and you can even see a little lace pattern. You see that on the chip? So we'll set those aside for our chip project. I don't see anything Zen rock size, so we're good there. But we're definitely going to add some ceramic media. I know I didn't want to put it in the smoky quartz barrel because it would just chew away at the media. And I'm still kind of thinking about that. But I'm only going to use the large ceramic media. I'm not going to use the small. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? My goodness. I'm just loving this. I'm very, very pleased. This was some really good rough that we got from the vendor. And blue lace agate's getting harder and harder to find, so it's getting more and more expensive. And it's really not a rock price point wise you wanted to be doing experiments on. But the whole purpose of this series is experiments. Wow. It's just so beautiful. So calming. Wow. Okay, enough of that. We are going to put it back in the 4670. I've said that several times now. We're going to let it run for a second week, but the experiment for this one is to add the ceramic media, and I'm fairly certain that next week it'll go to 60-90 course and then probably sit there for a while. But I'm very pleased that we have not lost mass the way that I thought we were going to. This still, I mean, they're huge chunks, and they're fitting in our 6-pound barrel rather well. So, yay, we don't have to downsize the barrel yet. Okay, we will be back with our next barrel. This week is December 23rd, and we are with our blue lace agate experiment. We started this 2 weeks ago in the heavy grit 4670, and as you can see, it's very smooth on the surface. It's shaping really well. It does have some host rock issues, which is to be expected. Now, the first week we ran this, it was with no ceramic media. The second week did. And I think by doing this, what we've managed to do is cut out a lot of extra time in the 4670, in the 60-90 grit. We kind of gave it a jump start. Now, we've already pulled out our chips, which were expected, and the ceramic media has been cleaned, so we're good there. It does obviously need some more work, but there's some beautiful banding that you can see here. I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. It's really lovely. Just beautiful banding. So out of the 5 pounds that we started with, we ended up with about 24 pieces. And yeah, that's kind of interesting factoid there. So what we're going to do is give it a wash. We're going to, isn't it pretty? We're going to move this on to our 60/90 regular coarse grit. And hopefully we'll get some more of this smoothed out. This is what we want. You know, we want all this surface. It's mostly on the top and the bottom. The sides are really gorgeous. Gosh, that is so smooth. Absolutely beautiful. Anywho, we want to, you know, get it as perfect as possible. Blue lace agate is kind of expensive, and we're running low on supply. Isn't that pretty? I don't know. Are we getting a good close-up of this? So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but we didn't lose a lot of mass, which was really surprising, being in that super heavy grit. So it's probably going to be another 3 or 4 weeks in the 60/90 with ceramic media to remove this kind of host rock issue. And I'm so tempted to take this to a tile saw because I don't have a flat lap, which I would love to have one, just to smooth this part out. And then it would spend less time tumbling. Because this, by the time it's done, I mean, can you see right here how much has to come off to have that smooth? You know, it has to go into there. And that creates a lot of loss of mass. Like especially on one here. This one shows up really good. See that pitting? If we want to get rid of all that pitting and then get rid of all this and then that deep, we're going to lose a lot of mass. And if we could just put this on a flat lap and just kind of smooth it, we could really control how much is being lost. And then we throw in the tumbler to, you know, round it. Christmas is coming, and a flat lap would be really, really nice. Gonna have to think about that. But and we're back with our blue lace agate, which has spent how many weeks? 3 weeks in 60/90 grit. And yeah, still needs more work, which is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our flat lap and we're going to get rid of this base layer here, this host rock, and retain as much of the mass as we can. Because the sides are pretty smooth, we're looking pretty good. You know, we're going to want to keep this as large as possible. So I think flat lapping that little roughness there will preserve as much mass as we can while we're tumbling. So we're going to set all these aside. So I'm pretty sure all of them are going to get a little tiny dose of flat lap. And then it's going to go back into 60/90. to smooth all that roughness out from the cutting. Oh, this is going to come off and go away. This is all really rough. That's pitted and rough. We're going to get rid of all that. Like this little quartz heap, it's going to come right off. So that's pitted pretty deeply. And we don't want to keep grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding the entire stone in the tumbler and lose all this beautiful stone just to get that, because we're losing it everywhere, not just on that one spot. So all of these, I think, are going to get a little tiny touch of the flat lap. See that? And then we're going to throw it back in 60-90 to smooth out this flat lap edges. Ooh. Yeah, see? That's got to go. Yeah. That is what we're going to do for this entire barrel, which is running in our 6-pound. And, yeah. I mean, even this little piece, I want to get rid of that. Yeah. So, interesting, while these big, heavy, I mean, they're big honker stones, they're heavy, and they have, I mean, this is really pretty still. Just look at the patterns. This lace agate is just, I mean, blue like this is just amazing. Yep, each piece is going to need a little tiny touch. Yeah, with the flat lap. So, looking at the ceramic media, we've got a lot of issues here. Issues like this, where it's just being mauled to death. And all this breakage is going to cause surface damage to the stone. So I'm going to go through all this media and I'm going to get rid of all these broken pieces. And I'm going to keep these lovely rounded ones. Just get rid of all this. And keep these pieces going with, you know, the best quality controls that we can as we go along. And I'm really excited to see how this flat lap works. I have high hopes for it. I think it's really going to do, I can't imagine it not doing what I want it to do to achieve the results that I want. It seems pretty straightforward. And we're going to find out. So that's going to be in a separate video. And trying to keep these short. So all of our blue lace is going to hit the flat lap. Yeah. Shouldn't take too long, in theory. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go through all the ceramic media. We're going to do that off camera and save you that boring step. And we're back with our blue lace agate. So last week we got our flat lap and we prepped all of this blue lace agate to keep as much mass as we could. And what we did was this host rock that was all super rough and pitted and of all different levels. We took to the flat lap and we sort of cleaned it up. We got rid of all the problems that were going to hold grit and that could contaminate another run in a finer grit, and we did a wonderful job. Now we left some of the host stone because we're not opposed to it, we're just opposed to what it can do by holding. But look at how beautiful this lovely, lovely blue lace agate is. It's just stunning. Look at the patterns. So most of the rough edges are gone. There is a little bit, if you can follow this line. That is a druzy valley. We want to make sure grit doesn't get stuck in there. So we do not want to continue this in 60-90 because that will just open those pockets further. So we're going to move this on to 120. I'm going to move it to medium. Just lovely. That's perfectly smooth. I believe that the 60-90 grit has done its job. It's been in for 2 weeks in the 60-90, 1 week prior to us going at it with the flat lap. And we want to preserve as much shape as we can, so we weren't trying to artificially shape it, we were just trying to get rid of the problems. The grit catchers. So like this is going to need some more work. That's not ready to move forward. There's some really interesting cleavage. It's like, I could have took the flat lap and kept, grinding down, but I don't want to do that. I want you to see the natural growth pattern. I just wanted to use the flat lap to get rid of any grit problems, any grit catchers. Oh, this is the loveliest blue. It's like a really pretty sky blue, like a real powdery blue. It's got beautiful, beautiful lines. You can see all that agate banding. And they're huge pieces. It's really good quality. A lot of host was left on this one. But again, you can see it's not going to catch any grit. So leave me a comment whether or not you would have continued to ground off that host rock to where it was completely gone, or if you like seeing a little bit left on your stones. I'm curious, what does the general public really like on their blue lace agate? This is so dang pretty. I think most of it is ready to move on to 120. I think it is. And we have so much mass that we've preserved. I mean, these are huge stones. Really, really pretty. Completely smooth. No sharp edges. Ready to move forward. Just beautiful. I really like working with this batch of blue lace agate. A nice iron inclusion in here. This is one I went and I took almost like 99% of the host rock off. It will be, you can sit. Smaller piece. This is just so lovely. I think it's ready to move to 120. Oh, we've got a lot of progress this week so far. So far, everything's moving forward. We just had a couple pieces of that smoky quartz that are being held back. That needs to be held back because that is catching. I could hit it with a flat lap, but I don't want to. We'll see. So pretty. I really like this blue lace agate. Got a really tiny piece here for this batch, but it still needs some smoothing and shaping. So that needs, even though it's a tiny piece, it needs to stay in 60-90. Kind of like this one to stay in 60-90 too because of these divots. Just feels like it could catch a little bit of grit. Okay, we will finish this off camera and I'll go through all the ceramic media, which we did cushion this super well. And the slurry was kind of thin, even though we added sugar to it to thicken it. It's very thin, and we're seeing the ceramic media needs to be gone through. There's some chippage in here. Okay, we will be back with our next barrel. Blue lace agate, isn't it pretty? I wanted you to see what the ceramic media is getting pulverized into here. The larger pieces seem to be holding up, but the smaller size media is just breaking down badly. And these little sharp edges on here can cause damage. So we're going to get rid of all of that so it doesn't move forward into, anymore. I mean, they were fine last week. They got damaged during the cycle. Now this fantastically gorgeous blue lace agate has spent 1 week in medium. Let's hit it on the... Wow. It is just so beautiful. Look at that. I think this is actually ready for 500. We're gonna Anything that has to stay in medium is going to go back in the barrel. Anything 500 is going to go in the little plastic colander so we can keep it separate. This these little pits here that we're seeing are remnants from the host rock. Now we had taken the flat lap and cleaned all of that up, to an acceptable level here, so we can not lose a lot of our beautiful stone. That actually, let's see, catches. I could either take that back to the flat lap and try and work that out, or we could just leave it. Wow, it's so pretty. They're huge pieces. They've really retained their mass. I don't know if another week in medium would help that or not. Set that aside. Again, these are the host rock, and then this is broken media. Perfectly smooth. None of that catches. It's just insane how this grows. All this beautiful banding, layer after layer, after millennia after millennia. And now we get to play with it. I can move forward. Yeah, I'm not happy about this. I think that's going to require a little more work. I don't know if that should go back to 60-90. I don't know. It might need to go back to 60-90. I'm going to set that aside. This one's looking good. They all seem to have that little piece. But this blue lace, I mean, it's looking really, really nice. So when we go through and we get rid of all the ceramic media that's damaged and we put it through a wash cycle, move it to 500. But I think some of it, I don't know, this feels so good. Again, that's just the host rock, and I didn't want to keep grinding and keep losing mass. It's really, really pretty. It is just stunning, just stunningly beautiful. These pieces are huge and they're heavy. Wow, look at that. We don't want to rush it, because we're excited to get it to polish. That's going to use a little bit more. Don't want to rush it. We might just keep all of it back in 120. It's not going to hurt it, I don't believe. And it just seems like it could just use a little bit more tweaking. And if I rush it to 500, no. I think I'm going to take those pieces I set aside and put them back in with these for the 120. Blue lace agate is getting really expensive on the market because it's almost mined out. It's That's really cool. That's a natural fracture line. It's embedded in there. Wow. I am going to give these an extra week in 120. They're big, they're beautiful. I think they can withstand it. Look at that piece of quartz attached there. It's almost like you want to chisel it off. But I'm not gonna. It's a thin piece. It's really beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, we are going to go through all the ceramic media, and we are going to find all these chipped, broken pieces, and then we're going to pull them out and throw them out. And we're going to run this. We're going to recharge the barrel and let it run for one more week. And then we'll see our blue lace agate next week. Wow. These are just amazing stones. I'm so happy we were able to get this, and it's really good quality rough. It's like clouds. This is just stunning. I know we say that about a lot of the stones, but holy cow, this blue lace agate is really special. Really special. Okay, I will go through all, look at that. I'll go through all this media, and then we will recharge the barrel, and we will see it next week. Okay, blue lace agate, absolutely stunning. All right, be right back. While these are broken and just worn down, they're not going to cause damage, but this next round of this next week of tumbling, these will just continue to break down, and they could get jagged little surfaces and mar the surface of our stone. So we just don't even want to deal with that, because these surfaces are amazing, and we don't want to damage them. This is a thin piece here, perfectly smooth. It's feeling really good in the 120. It's feeling really good. I think we can move this down. This is all, whoops, this is all that's left. It's the same number of pieces, it just keeps, shrinking in the grit, as it gets tumbled. This is our smallest piece, and it's still a nice size. Good tumbling stone. Really pretty piece of agate. This might get held back. We might put this batch on hold unless I can get another barrel that's smaller, because it's in a 6-pound barrel. Our great big 6-pound barrel here. And we kind of need a smaller barrel. So if that 4-pound barrel opens up, we can put this in it, because it's still too much mass for a 3-pound. But sometimes barrels wiggle around and we get to move things. So it may go on hold for a week until the barrel opens up, or it might be ready, because I think our 4-pound barrel's in polish this week and it might be done. So we'll see. So the tops and the bottoms of these were put on the flat lapidary machine, which just, if this was the grinding wheel, we just grind it against here and it makes a flat surface. Our goal was not for a flat surface. Our goal was to get rid of as much of this host rock as possible, but we still wanted to leave some, because it is natural. It is the way that this grows, and we want that, we want the world to see it. We don't want to grind the stones away to nothing. So, and then the top also, it's like they chisel it out of the ground, and yeah. It's just really pretty. Feels so soft. The 120 is really doing its job. It spent 2 weeks in 120. So, I mean, we could go one more week. I don't know what the purpose of it would be, in the 120, other than smoothing down any rough spots, like this one right here. Isn't that interesting, an iron in there? No, 120 is going to continue. Because the sides feel so good, but the top's a little bit, could use a little bit more work. Maybe we will do a 3rd week in 120. So this is starting to open up a druzy line. Oh, let's put this on. See right in here. This is starting to be a druzy valley. It's starting to get opened up. And the more we grind down the surface, the more that's going to open. Wow, that fracture goes all the way around. I'm afraid of that fracture. I don't know. I don't know if we should split this one. Or just take our chances that it'll stay together. If you were tumbling this stone, what would you do? Put it in the comments. I'd like to hear from you guys. Wow. It's kind of begging to be split, isn't it? Spend a lot of time on this crazy lace. I'm sorry, it's not crazy lace, it's blue lace agate. Look at the little pattern in that little lacy, where it gets its name from. I spent a lot of time on it because this is becoming very rare. It's getting really expensive because it's almost mined out. So I kind of want to leave it as, these pieces as large as possible. So there's a druzy opening up there too. Just little sparkles. The problem with druzy is that it could potentially become a grit catcher, so you have to be very careful and make sure that you clean it out really well. Yeah, this one's got all kinds of issues. I'd almost like to take that. But look at how much we're going to lose just to flatten out this part. Now I suppose I could take a Dremel to it. I mean, we would lose, this whole hump would crack off. This would get, this line would get smoother right in here. Then this one back here might potentially, fry off. I don't know. You see all the valleys and all the movement here. I mean, it's almost like, if you set it on its side and you put the chisel head in here, that it would just snap this off. But what I'm afraid of is that it would just crack a bigger piece, although it doesn't look like there's a fracture line for it to do that. I don't know. I keep letting it run and keep thinking about it, and then I keep doing nothing with it. This, again, we did get most of the host rock off of it, but I wanted to leave some in there. And it's kind of neat. These are, drying out. It's been about an hour since they've been rinsed. But it's show you how pretty it will look. Look at that blue. And that's the shine we're hoping to get. This water wet shine. Hoping to get that once we're done polishing it. Very pretty blue. Very, very, very pretty. And the fact that it's natural in nature is just amazing. We need another word for amazing. This is so cool. So a little piece of pie. I think this is ready to go to 120. I mean, it is in 120. I think it's ready to go to 500, but we need a smaller barrel. This piece is just really bugging me. You know what? I'm going to go see if I can chisel that off. Agate's a pretty hard stone, so it won't be an easy chisel. And pieces go flying everywhere, and it can damage my camera lens, so I'm not going to do it on the camera. But I will be, well, I'm going to try it. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So we did manage to chip that off. And this is what we ended up with here. This is not moving. This, it's so smooth we can't get the chisel into it. So, let's see what we can do here. Get all the rock dust out of that. And medium. There, you can kind of see all this is where it came off. No more is budging. So I'm gonna have to, I want to flat lap this to repair it. I don't want it to sit in 60-90 forever trying to catch up. And I think if I get it smooth enough with the flat lap, we can continue on its journey in the moving it to 500. Excellent. Okay. Now, all of this I'm actually going to throw out. I don't want to keep those chips. They're not dark enough in color. And I don't want any of this rock dust getting mixed in. It's on a damp paper towel, so it's holding a lot of the rock dust. Because we don't want it. I'll take flat lap, we'll clean this all up. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Sweet. I might go crack this one while we're at it. I mean, we got everything out. I'll crack this, fix any repairs with the flat lap, and I'll put it back in the barrel with these. And we're back with our first barrel in 500 aluminum oxide pre-polish, and it's our blue lace agate, and it's looking just lovely. There is a little bit of pitting on the top of this stone, but it is large enough that it's not catching any grit. You see those little pits? But I don't want to grind this down. We'd lose some mass. And it's not catching, so it doesn't really matter. God, these are just beautiful, beautiful pattern. Let's dry this stone off because these are all wet from the wash cycle. Holy cow, that's got a lot of polish to it. And it's just been 1 week and 500. I think it's only been 1 week. Yep, 1 week and 500. I think that after a wash cycle, we can move this to 1000. This is moving along quite nicely. It's really nice. These are some large pits. Okay. Oh, well, I think that's going to be fine. This is good. Oh, look at the pretty lace on that. Look at the shine. And it's dry. Wait till it goes through 1000. It goes through, you know, polish. Holy cow. 2 more. I mean, it's almost like, I kind of hesitate to say it, but it almost like it doesn't need to go into 1000. It is so super smooth. I don't know. Maybe we can, And that is from that's a bit of a fracture line. But again, I don't want, never mind. That's going to be just fine. I know that we've used the flat lap on this batch of stone. I don't want to do it again. I was only doing it to get problems, you know, grit catchers out of the way. This has really retained its mass. These were very large stones. And we did crack a couple last week to get in. I guess we got some smaller in here. And it didn't need to go. Wow, look at that. You see the druzy flash on that. Right here on this bottom line. Gosh. Blue lace agate is so beautiful. This natural sky blue color. It's so pretty. That beautiful, beautiful banding. Millions and millions of years to make that. And this stuff is getting almost mined out. Which makes it rather expensive. Really pretty. Goodness gracious. I could probably move this to polish and skip the 1000, but I mean, it is so smooth. I don't know how much more it would refine it. But we're going to put it in and see. Holy cow. Blue lace agate. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, the stones are ready for a wash cycle and to be moved forward. The media needs to be gone through because as you can see here, we've got a lot of breakage. So we've got some nice sized pieces that, you know, are not damaged. And then we've got these pieces like this one that are damaged. And we don't want to move those forward, not even in the wash cycle, because it's going to damage the surface of our batch, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to, you know, pull out all the damaged pieces. And then this ceramic media will go with the blue lace agate to get washed and to help cushion the stone. From getting knocked around too much. Now this one, I mean, it's a smaller piece, but as you can see, it's not sharp, it's rounded, so that will not damage the stone. So that can stay in it, stay with it. See, these are little broken pieces. We don't want those. Kind of roll them around to make sure nothing's stuck to them. Because again, these are still wet, so they tend to stick. And that one's sharp. Okay, I'm going to continue to do this off camera. And our blue lace agate will get a wash cycle, several, and then move forward to 1000 pre-polish. Very excited. We're getting close to the end with our blue lace agate, and it's going to be a really nice product if it doesn't get damaged in the next couple of stages. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, we are still on our blue lace agate barrel. And I've gone through all the ceramic media, and this is all the broken and busted up pieces that we have removed, and which is kind of significant considering all of these has the potential to ruin those rocks because they're all kind of sharp. So we're going to actually throw this out. Whoops. Throw that out. And this is what we have left for our blue lace agate. Let's adjust this here. Hang on, I'm gonna fix this tripod. So this is our 4-pound barrel, or 4.5-pound barrel, and our blue lace agate, and it's kind of it's less than half full, so it's going to need to move to a smaller barrel. But I do need to get it washed first. So I'm going to send this through a few wash cycles, but before I move it through to the next stage, I'm going to have to find a smaller barrel to put it in, and I don't know if I have a 3-pound barrel open, but I'm sure we'll find one when we move things around after the wash cycles. But I just wanted to bring that up. That's after you go through these, and they started out kind of full. You can see how little we're getting down to. We have pulled a couple of pieces that needed more 60-90 and that needed more medium, but nothing needs more 500. It's all ready to move forward to 1000. So we're pretty happy with that. But I just wanted to show, the in-between parts of the cycles. Okay. And we're back with our blue lace agate. It has been running in 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish for 1 week. And it is dry. And look at the polish we have on it already. That is just amazing. Wait until, we actually run it through a polish cycle. It already has a beautiful shine. Patterns are amazing. We still have a little bit of that host rock on the bottom, which we wanted to show, which was deliberate. Feels so good. And they're large, they're pretty big chunks. we were able to retain most of the mass. Look at the beautiful, beautiful pattern. That lovely light sky blue. All those layers, all that banding. And it's got a nice polish on it already, but it's still going to get several wash cycles. And then it's going to go through polish for a week. And then a burnish cycle, and then on to the store. But wow, it's so pretty. Just lovely. Got a deep blue vein in there. Oh. Just stunning. Now see, even though we ran it through the flat lap, the top is still rounded because of we did it early on so that the tumbler could do that. And that's exactly what we wanted it to do. We wanted it to do that rounding. Wow. Whew. This is beautiful agate. It ran very well. I was very happy with it. Very happy with it after we flat lapped it, because there was a lot of host rock, which was a lot of pitting and a lot of, I mean, you can see how deep that goes. And if we would have gone to take it, completely remove it, we would have lost a whole layer. Our goal was to retain as much as possible. Blue lace agate was a definite success. Very, very happy with it. Okay, it is ready for a wash cycle, several wash cycles, and then it will move to polish, and we'll see it next week. All right, I'll be right back. It's our blue lace agate, and it's in polish aluminum oxide for 1 week. And we are going to dig it out here. We've been pretty happy with the mass of these stones. It hasn't been lost. So we ended up with some really big ones, so even though we flat lapped a few pieces. Okay. Let's just make sure it's good and dry. Oh my god, look at that shine. Oh, we're so happy. Our blue lace agate turned out perfect. Oh, look at that. Oh, yay. Let's rinse off. I mean, once we, get obviously burnish it and get all those, residual slurry off of it, it'll be even shinier. That's possible. Hang on, let's get a... There we are. Look at that shine. Oh, it's so pretty. What a success. I mean, even the host rock is shining. Just lovely blue lace agate, and they're huge, huge pieces. Oh, okay, let's move this back a little bit. Look at that foam, it's really stiff. Gotta kind of dig down, put it in the water. Yeah, there's a drier one. Blue lace agate. Just stunning. Oh. Oh my gosh. Let's see how. Oh. Put it in the water. Give it a quick super rinse. Take our wet towel. Take our dry towel. Oh, look at that. Blue lace agate. Just lovely. Of course, we have to get the slurry off of it. Can't wait to see it after a burnish cycle. Wow. So happy. And if any of these pieces weren't the way we wanted it, you don't have to recharge your polish. You could run it again. You don't have to add anything to it, which is kind of interesting. Oh, look at that. Just beautiful. Oh. It's like a little piece of pie. Alright, well, we're going to go through off camera and wash all these off. And then we'll be back with a quick glimpse before it goes into burnish. Oh my gosh, that's just so soapy. Perfectly dry. Beautiful shine. I'm so happy. This blue lace agate turned out. I mean, it took a long time to run, but it turned out beautiful. I'm just in love with this. This is so pretty. Okay, we're gonna go give them a little bit of a better wash, and then we'll show you what they look like, and then we'll put them in a burnish cycle. Okay, we'll be right back.